Okay, hello and welcome to another episode of EPLW. This is the game week preview, and we've got some energy for you today. Right, I don't know if you just saw my warm-up there when I was loading the stream. Hopefully not, because it would be quite embarrassing. Our fixtures this week, we are looking at Southampton, Chelsea, Burnley, West Brom, Liverpool, Everton, Merseyside Derby, Fulham, Sheffield United, and then tomorrow, West Ham, Spurs, Villa, Leicester, Arsenal, Man City, and then Manchester United against Newcastle United. What a gargantuan game week, Roz. Alongside me, a man who needs no introduction. We're going to preview each of those games now, and then we're going to predict the outcomes of those games straight after. Subscribe to this channel, make sure you never miss a live stream again, and make sure you allow notifications so you know every time we go live. And if you're watching and you've got any suggestions, just comment in the live chat here on YouTube, and we'll try and get around to answering your questions or airing your comments. Also, make sure you tell us what you want to hear about on the pod. Tweet us at EPLW pod. Roz, how you doing?
Yeah, not too bad. Well done for actually sticking to needs no introduction and then not actually doing an introduction. Like, most people sort of go, the man who needs no introduction, and they go on for about 5 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
no,
yeah.
I thought, I'll stick to it. If I'm going to say it.
That's good.
Plus, I wrote it really quickly before the show, and I sort of didn't think it through quite a lot. And then I thought, hey, this works. I'll get on with the actual stuff, the preparation of the show now. Yeah, how you doing, mate?
Yeah, not too bad, thanks. Yeah, can't wait for another great game week.
Yeah.
They're sort of coming thick fast at the moment, aren't they?
Yeah.
But some really tasty fixtures this week.
Well, of course, the game week started last night with your beloved Leeds at Wolves. How did you find that game? Did you watch it? I'm sure you watched it. You've probably watched it 3 times by now, haven't you?
I took the bins out, and then I didn't even fill the bins up again. I just decided to just take out like an empty bag, and I just kept doing the bins.
Fair enough.
Which was more enjoyable.
For those of you who did watch it, I'm sure you enjoyed the game. Wolves beat Leeds 1-0. It was a Meslier own goal. I'm going to confess now, I didn't watch it. It was movie night. Instead, I was watching Slumdog Millionaire, which is a great film.
Nice.
And I can't believe I've never seen it before.
Yeah.
But go see it if you haven't seen it. What was it 2006? Danny Boyle? Old film.
Yeah, and yeah, great film. I did see the highlights, to be fair.
Yeah.
And the goal was quite funny. You sort of feel sorry for him just because their goalkeeper looks about 11 years old. He's
Fair
got
enough.
like the youngest face you've ever seen in a goalkeeper.
We're literally 2.5 minutes in and you've already had a nice Leeds dig.
It's not saying that's why you feel sorry for them. Like, it was nothing he could have done about it. Really sweet strike, and just bent in off his back. And then Bamford said that they were robbed.
Yeah, well,
he was offside.
I was robbed. So if you've seen my fantasy team, I actually put Bamford as captain this week, and
Yeah.
it was a gamble. And we were talking about it yesterday on Fantasy Friday, yesterday morning. And I said I was actually considering Josh Madger, but I thought that's too much of a gamble. If I'm going to get anywhere near you in fantasy, I had to go for Bammers this week because everyone else is going to go for Bruno. I just have to gamble on Fernandes on Bamford. Who did you go for actually?
I did go with Harry Kane in the end, because I'm similar to you, but further up, in that I need to catch someone. So couldn't really risk. Well, we'll sort of have to take risks at this point. So instead of going for the sort of safe bet in Bruno Fernandes, decided to go for Harry Kane because he always seems to play well against West Ham there. And I did put Josh Madger in.
You did. Good man. I love it.
Yeah.
Did you put any Southampton players in?
No, I think Bednarek is my first bench option.
Okay.
Which really says something that he's got 2 games and I don't trust him as much as all my other defenders who only have 1 game.
Yeah, okay. So the reason I ask is because Southampton, of course, as Leeds, have a double game week this week. And as we have a look at the fixtures, we're going to talk about Southampton first. They host Chelsea at St Mary's at 12:30 p.m. in a couple of hours. That's on BT Sport. And I've got a bit of team news here for you. Kyle Walker-Peters is expected to miss the rest of this month because of a hamstring injury from last weekend. He joins Theo Walcott and Ibrahima Diallo on the sidelines Tammy Abraham has made a rapid recovery from the ankle injury he got against Newcastle on Monday and could feature. Although, I mean, you know, Werner's back in form now, having scored. Midfielder Kai Havertz is also fit again after a knock, but Thiago Silva and Christian Pulisic are unavailable. Where do you see this one going, Roz? Can Southampton end Chelsea's 4-match winning streak?
No. That's really good about Tammy Abraham, actually. I watched that game, and it was sort of a scissor challenge from Jamal Lascelles, and you really felt for Tammy Abraham. A really weightless player. He's, I guess, what you'd call a complete striker. You know, he's pacey, he can run on the shoulder. He's a big lad, can do bits in the air. Really skillful player, can finish, do a real job there. So I was gutted to see him go off injured. In terms of Werner, what we're seeing from this Chelsea system is the best of Timo Werner as that sort of winger cutting inside. His game's getting better and better. I thought he was man of the match against Newcastle. And I can only see this going Chelsea's way. Also, Southampton in a terrible run of form. Bless them.
Okay. So what's your prediction and who's your main man in this game?
Comfortable. Let's go for 3-0 Chelsea with Timo Werner, star man.
3-0 Chelsea and Werner. Okay, I guess I should do a prediction as well. I think Southampton will make it a bit more difficult. I think it'll be closer. I think it'll be 2-1. And I'm going to go with my good old Mason Mount. He's going to be the main man. Main man, Mason Mount. That's a bit of a tongue twister, isn't it? If you're watching this, get in the comments and tell us your predictions. There's a live comment box right next to this video. We want to know what your predictions are because we want to see if they stack up to ours when we get on tomorrow's show and find out how good or bad our predictions were. Okay, on to the next one then. At 3 o'clock today, this is a big one. Burnley West Brom from Turf Moor. Burnley boosted by the return of captain Ben Mee, your captain from last week's fantasy, with Matej Vidra also expected to be available. Johan Gudmundsson and Robbie Brady are out with injuries that they got in midweek, but Chris Wood and Eric Peters might be fit to return, might not be. West Brom-wise, Grady Diangana's back in contention, and Robert Snodgrass and Lee Peltier face a fitness test, but Kieran Gibbs has been ruled out with a shoulder problem. Where is this one going? You know, Burnley too strong for West Brom? Or West Brom, you know, is Big Sam going to do a job? What do you reckon?
It's one of two huge relegation clashes this weekend. Feels like Grady Diangana's been ready to come back into the team for about 3 weeks now, I have to say. He hasn't really done something to upset Big Sam. This one's going to be a thriller, isn't it? End-to-end, Big Sam versus Sean Dyche. All the quality. I'm expecting drama, goals, end-to-end, free-flowing football.
It's going to be like a game. It's going to be like a game of Quidditch, isn't it? It's going to be insane. Just chucking a Harry Potter.
I think we should sort of time the amount. Time how much the ball actually spends on the ground and how much it spends out of play or in the air.
Cool. Well, if anyone who's watching fancies doing that for us and sending us the stats for tomorrow, that would be absolutely brilliant. If you've got nothing better to do between 3 and 5 o'clock today, then watch that game and tell us and time how long it's in the air, how long it's on the ground. Roz, you're saying 0-0 for that one.
Yeah.
And who's your main man then?
In the 0-0?
Yeah.
Let's mix it up. Let's go for James Tarkowski this week.
Oh, you're just making me write down a hard name. Right. I think I've done it though. Right.
Ben Mee's simpler, isn't it?
Yeah. Why couldn't you just say Ben Mee? I'm gonna say I reckon Burnley have got too much for West Brom. I'm gonna say 2-0. I'm gonna say the main is gonna be Nick Pope. He's gonna be the difference maker. Just because you know me, I like to say something a bit off the wall. Okay. Let's get on to the one we've all been talking about.
Just another quick point on that game. The goal against Man United. Who was it? Diagna, who sort of treated Lindelof like he wasn't really there.
Yeah.
To push inside. I'd love to see him try and do that to James Tarkowski.
Yeah, well,
Man United fans might get a glimpse of what a real defender should do in that situation.
Okay, well, on that note, let's talk about some real defenders who are completely missing for Liverpool. As we talk about Liverpool-Everton from Anfield at 5:30 on Sky Sports. It's the big one. It's the Merseyside derby. I mean, the obvious team news here. Fabinho and James Milner both ruled out. No Van Dijk, no Joe Gomez, no... who's the other centre-back? Remind me.
Matip.
Matip, no Joel Matip. So literally, they are down to the bare bones. Even though they've bought two centre backs, surely, you know, they got a win in midweek in the Champions League, Liverpool. But I don't know. This is, if Everton have a chance of winning at Anfield, it's got to be. This has to be it, right?
100%. I don't know if you saw the goals in Liverpool's win. I'm sure it would give them a bit of confidence. But both goals from shocking errors at the back from Leipzig. I kind of fancy Everton in this one, I have to say. Not that they're kind of coming in the best form. And I'm sure Liverpool will be riled up if Jordan Pickford starts, because he's the man that probably single-leggedly ruined Liverpool's season.
Two-leggedly, double-leggedly, wasn't it? It was more... It was every single limb, in fact. He threw every single limb at Virgil van Dijk's lower leg. And, the rest is history, as they say. Yeah. Wow, can you imagine? I can't wait to see Carragher on Sky Sports for this one. That's going to be fun. So, yeah, make sure you tune into that one. Do you know what? I'm tempted. I always say in a derby game that's kind of when teams are at a similar level, or even not, you know, always back the draw, 1-1. That's what I'm saying. Liverpool-Everton, 1-1. But I think it'll be... I think Everton will take the lead. You know, if I'm going to go for a hardcore prediction here, I'd say Everton take the lead. And then it's a rescue job from, say, Salah. So, you know, that's what I'm going to go for, 1-1 Salah.
Nice. I'm going to go... going to put it on the table and I'm going to say Everton 2-1.
Ooh.
And with the star man being
Calvert-Lewin's back.
Luke Dean.
Calvert-Lewin's back. Calvert-Lewin is back in contention. Yeah, apparently.
Out of fantasy.
And also Allen should be back as well. So, Allen.
Well, if I went for an Everton win without those two, I'm certainly going for a win with those two. If Calvert-Lewin's back, the hero returns. Let's go for Calvert-Lewin.
Okay, what I'll do is I'll put Calvert-Lewin. I'll put Digne in brackets. Okay, just in case you decide to have a go at me tomorrow when Calvert-Lewin didn't start or something. Okay, and we finish off today's games. Fulham, Sheffield United at the Cottage. The Cottagers at home to Sheffield United, and this one is what we haven't. Hang on, where have the fixtures gone? There they are. Right, sorry. Fulham, Sheffield United at Craven Cottage, 8 o'clock. Alexander Mitrovic continues to self-isolate in the wake of a positive coronavirus test. Wouldn't you just love to be in a small room with Alexander Mitrovic when he can't do anything? Head coach Scott Parker is also without injured midfielder Tom Kearney still. Sheffield United, John Egan has been ruled out for 8 weeks due to the dislocated toe he suffered against West Ham on Monday. Ouch. John Fleck misses out again because of illness. Sander Berger, Jack O'Connell and Jack Robinson remain on the sidelines. It's the similar story of Sheffield United injuries here this season.
It's all along the back, isn't it? It's players like Egan, it's players like Andy Stevens. And if you could say one thing about their tactics last season that was interesting, it was the overlapping centre halves. And I think that's really hit them. And I think it will cost them their place in the Premier League. Ultimately, this is one of those, the old cliche, a draw doesn't do anyone any good here. Fulham are in form going into it, and I fully expect them to take 3 points.
Okay, yeah, Fulham, as you say, in form. They've only lost 1 in the last 5, but but they've only won one in the last 5 as well. So you fancy Fulham. Sheffield United 1-2 and lost 3. They're kind of, I mean, if anyone's going to take this, it's got to be Fulham, right? So
yeah, and I would say actually, if you kind of look at the results as they are, you'd go Sheffield were also going into good form.
Yeah.
But the nature of the wins, the Man United one, as good as Sheffield United were, that was for me that Man United were that poor.
Yes.
Whereas Fulham's wins, okay, you could say that Everton weren't quite up to scratch, but Josh Madge just seems to have totally changed the mood there.
Yeah, exactly.
But I will say,
go on.
I know I've already kind of said they're all going down, and kind of nailed my.
Here comes a U-turn. Here comes a U-turn. I sense it.
It's definitely not a U-turn. It's more of a I would put my life savings on it kind of thing. I think they're the 3 that are going down, but I will bet my life that if either team lose this match, they don't stand a chance in hell.
Okay, so you're sort of doubling down. Okay, brilliant. Well, remind me never to go to the casino with you. What's your prediction, and who's your main man?
Josh Madger.
Josh Madger, and you reckon the score will be?
2-0. I reckon it'll be 1-0 for a while. And Sheffield United will try and give it everything, and then they'll get caught on the break or something.
Okay, right. Good stuff. Let's move on to Sunday's games then. If you're watching this and you're enjoying it, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and allow notifications so you never miss a beat. Also, get in the comments on this video if you're watching, and we'd love to hear your opinions and your views, and we'd love to discuss them. And if you've got any impressions you want Roz to do, he does a great Bielsa and he does a great Sean Dyche. So if you haven't seen that before, get in the comments and ask for it. Okay, tomorrow, midday, West Ham Spurs. They've made this one an early one, even though there's no fans there. Usually this sort of game, they make it an early one because of the potential sort of excitedness of the fans, shall we say. Yeah, so West Ham forward Michail Antonio is in contention. He's in contention. He's back. Balbuena could feature for the first time since mid-January. Harry Kane expected to start for Tottenham after he was left out in the Europa League. Although, did he come on in that match, I think, didn't he? Sergio Reguilon is still missing with a muscle injury, while a calf problem looks set to keep fellow fullback Serge Aurier out again. How do you see this one going? This is surely the closest West Ham and Spurs have been in a while.
Sure. Definitely. And I was looking at the results. I was saying before that it feels like sort of Tottenham always kind of have their number. It's really not the case. I couldn't find the last double that Tottenham did over West Ham. And now, as you say, they're much closer than they ever have been. You might even go as far to say that, certainly based on form, the West Ham are favourites.
Yeah, West Ham sit 5th in the league on 42 points, having played 24. Tottenham on 36 points, so 6 points behind, having played 23. So they've got a game in hand. Tottenham will be needed to win this if they want to stay in contention for European places, you know, going into the home straight, if you like. And there's a big fixture pile-up, especially with them in the Europa League. You know, they've just had a Europa League game on Thursday. West Ham coming in a bit fresher. I fancy West Ham personally, and I reckon Lingard is the man that is... You know how you said about Josh Madger lifting the mood at Fulham? I see Lingard's lifting the mood at West Ham. I think they've got the backbone of a team there, and with Antonio back, and then Lingard, and then the likes of Souček and Rice in front of the back four, I just think West Ham are looking really tidy at the moment, and I'm backing them to win this one, 2-1, and I think Lingard's going to be the main creative force.
I've just had a revelation. Sort of premonition.
Oh, yeah.
A realisation. One of those 3.
Allow me to pour a coffee while you...
yeah. Learning the morning for big words. I reckon the worst Tottenham Hotspur Football Club ever felt as a fan base and as a club was in 2013. Okay. And the reason for that is they've been trying to get into the top 4 places to get a Champions League spot.
Mm-hmm.
And when they finally did it, with Harry Redknapp, Chelsea, who didn't finish in the top 4, won the Champions League, which meant they didn't get Champions League football.
Yes.
Tottenham will know that that's the worst you can feel as a fan base. It's the worst you can feel as players, as a club. And so they're doing the ultimate shithousery on West Ham. They're going, let them finish 4th, and then we'll win the Europa. And Liverpool will win the Champions League, and they won't finish top 4.
Right. Okay.
And West Ham won't get a day out in Europe.
Right. Okay. Well, that was a revelation.
Conspiracy theories 101.
Yeah, it was a somewhat long way round to get in there, but thank you very much for sharing. What do you reckon the? Sorry, I couldn't help it. Yeah, have some more coffee, please. Right, I said 2-1 West Ham, and you're saying Spurs are going to let West Ham win, essentially.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that's going to be the course of the season. Pay attention, Joe. That's over the course of the season.
It's hard to pay attention when you take 5 minutes to tell a story. Jeez. Right, okay. Fireworks here on EPLW.
I'm going for a shock upset with Tottenham to win.
What? Okay, go on.
No. Mental, right? Gonna go 2-1 Spurs with Harry Kane to score.
After that absolute monologue you just put me through, you're saying Spurs are going to win?
Attention to the monologue, because the monologue was over the course of the season.
I fully get the monologue. We don't need a repeat of the monologue, please, if that's all right.
So what it is, the worst a fan base can be.
Oh my god. Right, we've had some comments. Mus. Oh, Mus. Hi, Mus. How you doing? West Ham for top 4. It's on. Good to see Rod starting to believe. And also, Andrew is in the chat as well. He's just done a crying laughter emoji. So obviously, he's finding it entertaining. Who wouldn't find this entertaining? Right? Am I right?
Shut up about my boring monologues. Boring coffee-fueled monologues.
Coffee-fueled? Well, I don't know about that. Maybe the coffee hasn't kicked in yet. Right, okay. It's Villa Leicester next up. Tomorrow, 2:05 at Villa Park. Right, quiet. I need to do a serious bit now. Okay, Villa are 8th, played 22, 36 points. Leicester 3rd, played 24, 46 points. Villa fullback Matty Cash has a hamstring strain, which will keep him out for at least 3 weeks. El Mohammadi will most likely deputise in only his second league start of the season. Timothy Castagna is fit for Leicester after a 5-match absence, but Ayosi Perez is sidelined with a knee injury. Wes Morgan remains out, along with long-term absentees James Justin, get well soon, Dennis Pratt, and Wesley Fofana. What do you reckon here? Villa were battered by Brighton last time out, but they held on for a draw. Last season, they probably would have lost that game. This season, they look a lot stronger, don't they, Villa?
Definitely. This is the Grealish-Maddison contest, isn't it?
Yeah.
It should be pretty tasty. I'm sure both those players are aware of the kind of media circus around it.
Yeah.
Everyone's acting. As I said in a very early episode, that there's only one England spot for either of them.
Right.
I think they'll both go, to be honest. But
have you got some sort of prediction, premonition, monologue situation about this game, or?
Yeah, Joe. Back in 2013. I don't know if you remember it. I mentioned it just a second ago.
Do you reckon, in all seriousness, though? Sorry, I'll stop digging you out now. Southgate will be at this game, surely. Sir Gareth in his waistcoat, surely he'll be there.
Oh, absolutely.
Be exchanging pleasantries with the ball boys and stuff.
As a kid, I always used to find it fascinating watching the England man for a match today.
Yeah.
Because he would literally sort of go to the early kickoff and then get in a helicopter. And then, but I guess as a child, you kind of, when you're watching it on match today, it's like game. It's like, Sven-Göran Eriksson's in all those places at once. He's incredible.
Yeah, well, Sven got around quite a lot, didn't he? Anyway, what's your prediction for this one? Who's coming out on top for you? Is it Grealish or Maddison?
I think both of them will have a good game. I think that Leicester have a better side and a better manager. And I've only really had one slip up, which was the Leeds game for me, in their run to kind of secure that top 4 spot.
Yeah.
So I'm going for Leicester. And let's go with James Maddison. Why not?
Okay, what's the score?
I don't know. It hasn't happened yet.
Oh, brilliant. Very good. What's your...
Yeah, I don't know. I'm still pissed off because you were pretending that my monologue wasn't interesting.
All right, well, do you know what?
It was.
I'll write a score down for you. You're going to say James Maddison, you reckon Leicester will win. You reckon 9-0, do you? Okay, cool. Right, now it's my go. I'm going to say this one will be... I reckon Jack Grealish will get fouled at least 15 times in this one, as Leicester try and keep a lid on him. But as you say, Leicester have the better team. Leicester have the better manager. Fantastic manager, top guy. Absolutely fantastic guy. Wonderful human being. Wonderful bunch of players. And do you know what? The same for Villa. They've got a wonderful bunch of... I'm going to stop now. That's awful. You're the one that does the impressions, not me. I reckon Leicester will take this one 2-1. I think Villa have got a chance, but I reckon Leicester 2-1. And it's got to be that man up top, hasn't it? He's having a party.
Jim Vardy.
Yeah. Okay. Let's have a look then at the next game. Oh, it's a biggie. It's Arteta hosts Pep at the Emirates. Arsenal Man City, 4:30 kickoff on Sunday. Kieran Tierney could start after returning from a month-long injury. Thomas Partey remains a doubt. City... Ilkay Gundogan has returned to training after missing the win at Everton with a groin issue. Nathan Ake is the only other absentee. So kind of 2 teams at full strength here. But I hate to say this as an Arsenal fan, but will City just have too much for Arsenal on the day? Or has Arteta got a trick up his sleeve and he's going to rescue something and he's going to derail City's title hopes?
Well, yeah, I mean, Man City sort of charged to take the title. Huge game coming up when they're playing West Ham in a couple of weeks. This one should be light work, I think. I think it's going to be master versus student. I think Xhaka's going to be petulant. It's going to be something really silly. It's going to be the Croydon De Bruyne versus De Bruyne
versus the Belgian Smith Rowe.
But yeah, it's basically just a load of imitators, isn't it? You know, it's Arteta doing his best hand signals, trying his best to dress inappropriately as a manager should for a football match. He's sort of aspiring to be a pet.
No, I do not accept that. Arteta dresses impeccably. It's not like Guardiola with his like replay jeans hoodie and like ripped cargo pants and white trainers. You're a manager, for Christ's sake. You're a football manager. Wear something decent, and you'll see on Sunday. When it comes to the wardrobe wars at the Emirates, that's one thing we're definitely going to win, okay?
Okay. Well, I'll be keeping an eye out for that 100%. However, I think the actual football war will be a comprehensive Man City victory. I'm going to go for 4-0, just because you dubbed me out earlier.
Wow.
Yeah.
Who's the main man?
It's good to hand it.
Yeah, well, were you not listening to what I said? What is the point in what I read out the team news? I put together this beautiful list of team news. You don't even listen. We've even got people in the comments saying Gundogan's fit. You know, like, hello to Mete, who says Gundogan. See, I can say it properly now. I think I'm saying it properly anyway. Am I saying it properly?
Gundogan. Yeah, I keep saying it wrong, even though I know how to say it.
You told me how to say it. Okay, so you're saying 4-0 to City and Gundogan's the main man. Okay, I have got a sneaky little suspicion that...
Oh, is that hope? Oh.
Have you forgotten what that looks like as a Millwall fan?
No, 1-3 in a row.
Starting to resurface now. The hope, here it comes. I was hopeless for 3 years. You know, the tail end of Emery. You know, the tail end of Wenger and a bit of Emery.
Wasn't it like 11 years that you went without a trophy?
Oh yeah, but come on, like we still played entertaining football and won the odd game. Like we don't have to. How long's it been since Millwall got a trophy?
Well, in terms of low divisions, low budget, we've won the League One playoff final twice. We've been to Wembley quite a few times for such a small club, such a small budget. Beaten several Premier League sides. We beat the champions of England actually in Leicester City in the FA Cup. When was the last time Arsenal did that?
Wow, when we won the Premier League, presumably. Okay.
Blimey, I thought I was even born then.
Hang on, you weren't born in 2004?
No, I was.
Sorry.
Yeah. Anyway.
I've had way more coffee than you. I'm just all over you today, mate. Mete's in the comments saying, nope, laughing his head off. So nope means I'm not saying it correctly. Let's get Mete on the show one of these days, and he can teach us exactly how to say Gundogan. Right, I reckon Arsenal have a chance of getting a result of some sort. So I'm going to say we've got previous against City. We can do it on the day, and we've got full strength team. Aubameyang's firing again. We've got a beautiful looking midfield if Partey's back, and he plays Partey and Ceballos. I'm going to go 1-1. I reckon that's the best I can hope for.
I love that hope. Like building it up, like we're gonna get something. It's gonna be, we're gonna have all these components on our day. If Aubameyang's firing, if we've got our first choice midfield, we might get a 1-1. We might get a corner.
We might get a corner. I think realistically, that's probably a safer bet.
Yeah, we won 4-3 on the corner count. We lost the game 5-0, but.
Okay. Okay, the last fixture on Sunday, Man United against Newcastle United at Old Trafford, where Man United's form is abysmal. Let's make sure we shoehorn that in. 7 o'clock kickoff. Edison Cavani and Donny van der Beek looking at late fitness tests. Scott McDominate is a doubt after he was substituted during midweek, and Paul Pogba remains out. Newcastle United defender Federico Fernandez is back in training and could feature next weekend. Probably won't make it this one. Jeff Hendrick returns from suspension. Callum Wilson still sidelined. Even given Man United's poor home form this season, they've got to beat Newcastle at Old Trafford, right?
I've got a confession in that watching the game against Real Sociedad on Thursday night, I thought Harry Maguire looked quite good. I mean, one good performance doesn't actually, make up for all the other absolute shocking ones.
Yeah.
I don't rate Man United's defence in the slightest. However, I don't think they'll need them in this one. Going for a comprehensive victory. I was saying in the show yesterday, this game always seems to be a Man United thrashing in my memory.
Yes.
Might not technically be the case, but it tends to be sort of the 4-1s, the 5-0s, the 5-1s.
It was a couple of the last two times they met, it was 4-1 United at home and away. Yeah. Wow, this sun has come out of nowhere, by the way. Sorry. I can't see a thing.
Probably for the best. Yeah, it's like it was sort of competitive, and then Fergie played his mind games. Keegan lost it, and since then a curse has been put on the club, and they haven't been competitive since. And they're just doomed to get thrashed by them for eternity. I'm going for 5-0. 5-0 Man United. It's got to be that man, Bruno. Feature.
Yeah, I think Man United, but I think a more modest 3-0. And I'm going to go for Rashford. He looks good in midweek as well. And I think we can't always rely on Bruno. Andrew's in the comments. He backed Arsenal to win as well. So screw you, Roz. And also he reckons United will win 4-0. So we're all sort of on the same page there, which is quite nice. Okay, should we have a look at the Monday and Tuesday games, or have you had enough of me?
No, let's do Monday and Tuesday. Why not?
Okay, right. So on Monday night, it's Brighton against Crystal Palace, 8 p.m. Looking at this game then, Brighton sitting 16th on 26 points. Palace 14th on 29 points. Brighton have done well to sort of distance themselves from the drop zone, haven't they? You know, how do you see that carrying on, that continuing?
Yeah, for sure. They're I was going to say they've almost done it quietly, but I don't think they really have. They've got some fairly big results there, particularly the one at Anfield. Joe, do you know why this one's a rivalry?
Well,
and I don't have the answer.
Yeah, I do. It's basically because a lot of the fans of Crystal Palace are from the areas of South London and Croydon that is close to Brighton or something like that. So historically, you support one or the other because they're equidistant or something like that. I don't know, but they are. It's mate. It's a ridiculous rival.
Fake rivalry.
Yeah.
It's like what? No, I'll tell you exactly what it is.
I'm listening. Go on. I'm trying to close my curtain because it's so bright.
I'll tell you what it is. Basically, neither fan base, the clubs that are actually close to them, don't consider them as their main rivals. So it's like Palace should really hate Millwall, but Millwall hate West Ham more, so they don't really consider Palace their main rivals. Charlton, no one cares about Charlton. With Brighton, you've got kind of all the clubs on the south coast there, and you've obviously got Portsmouth, Southampton, a huge rivalry there. Bournemouth haven't really been, they're quite a new club in terms of being this high up in the Football League. And they're both like, oh, no one cares about us. Do you want to pair up? Pair up to be a rivalry. It's like when people sort of go, oh, if we're both single by the time we're 40, we can sort of match up and have a kid. It's just a bit pathetic, really. They're like, oh, yeah, we hate seaweed. Oh, we hate Palace. Do you? Or are you just lonely?
Well, sorry, we just received a few comments about that one, actually. David says, let's quickly go back to Maguire because I missed this one. David says, Maguire gets a lot of criticism, but look at the stats before he came and then compare them to when he came off. The problem is his partnership with Lindelof doesn't work, as proved by West Brom's goal. Dave, a United fan there, presumably, defending Harry Maguire to the hills. We haven't really got time to get on with that one, but he says also Eagles versus the Seagulls is Battle of the Birds, right? That's his rationale.
Okay.
And Mus is in the comments. He said, I heard it was because Palace fans claim Brighton stole the Eagles chant for their Seagulls chant. I mean, these are all pretty weak excuses These are all pretty poor excuses, aren't they? Let's be honest, to have a derby.
You got Arsenal Spurs, where it's like a sort of turf war, where they've moved into their territory and sort of taken their fans. You've got Millwall West Ham, which is a political thing. It was about the Dockers and going on strike, sort of deep rooted in that. And also the same as Arsenal Tottenham, in that they used to be close together. They stole our chant. Are you serious?
Well, whether it's
rivalry, they're nothing clubs.
Anyway, yeah. What's your prediction for the game? We've got slightly sidetracked there. Where do you see this one going?
Brighton all the way. Let's go for 2-1 Brighton, and with let's go for Aaron Connolly.
Connolly, interesting. Okay, I'm going to say, I think Palace a bit stronger than we're giving them credit for. I think Brighton are playing very well, but I can see Palace getting a draw out of it. I think Brighton will play tremendously well, though. I'm going to say 1-1, and the main man is going to be Lewis Dunk, because I put him in my fantasy team. Okay.
Nice.
The last game we're going to have a look at then before we leave. Remember, if you're watching this and you like what you're seeing, then please like the video, hit subscribe so you stay up to date with all our stuff, and allow notifications. Hit the notification button so you're notified every time we go live. Brilliant. Okay. The last game we're having a look at then for today, Leeds against Southampton, 6 p.m. on Tuesday night. What can we say that we haven't said about Leeds already, Roz? What a fantastic team, back where they belong. Bielsa, one of the top managers in the world, finally in the Premier League. And surely it's a walkover for Leeds against a flailing Southampton team.
I mean, I've just gone on a rant about two teams that I really don't care about. Now you're trying to trigger me on a club that I really just can't stand. They've had enough coverage. Let's just go straight to the result. Let's go 15-0 Southampton.
15-0
Danny Ings to get 10 of them.
Right, you're that's okay. 15-0 Southampton, banishing all the.
No, you know what? I realised something earlier, which was that in the great, the scriptures of football, aka World in Motion, in particular the John Barnes rap, says it all. They'll hit you and hurt you, defend and attack. It's not defensive part. I mean, if you can't get that you have to do that in some games, not concede 4 goals in the first 47 minutes of the game. Just because we have to play this way, it's just our identity. No, also, I mean, it depends if Calvin Phillips is back, of course. But yeah, 15-0 Southampton. Stick to my guns there. Be it Danny Ings to get 10.
Ings to get 10. Okay.
That's one.
Okay. I'm going to more realistically go for 3-2 Leeds and cross my fingers and my toes that Patrick Bamford scores at least a goal, because I put him as captain in my fantasy team, and I need to be vindicated, especially as I will get roasted for it if I don't. David in the comments says 18-0 Southampton. Perhaps they'll turn around both 9-0s. Good.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. What do you reckon? Are you going to change to 18-0 from 15-0?
Yeah, why not? That'd be a beautiful story.
Okay.
It?
Ings to still get 10.
Bit of romance. It says romance is dead.
Ings to get 10, or how many will Ings get now?
Yeah, no, keep him on 10. Let's go for the other 8 from Bednarek. He's had a terrible time of it lately, so he's as a centre half gonna go on a few Macy dribbles.
Wow.
Back himself 8 goals.
What he's going for the full 6. Mus has got in the comments.
It's not like he's actually playing against a credible defence, is it?
Yeah. I mean, Mus has been in the comments. I kind of think you've already covered this, and I'm not sure whether we want to carry on with more of this, go down this kind of Leeds hole. But Mus says, Roz, what are your views on Bielsa's attacking philosophy?
On his attacking philosophy? It depends what Mus means, I guess.
Well, I think I'm going to lighten this up a bit. If you could compare it to a film, what film would it be? Would it be Braveheart?
All or Nothing?
All or Nothing.
All or Nothing.
Would it be Braveheart? Surely.
What's that?
Would it be Braveheart?
Oh, Braveheart.
Ah! No?
What, you mean in the slightly dubious racist views of the director?
Brilliant.
I like that you're trying to lighten it up.
Yeah, you completely put it back into the political zone.
No, it depends what this means. The way they attack, very attractive to the eye. My problem is the decision making in when they attack like that. So it's actually just picking moments in games. You don't need to just take the ball back to the centre circle once you concede a goal and kick off as if it's 0-0. So it's the naivety of when they're attacking, and the fact that I just don't think they can defend. I don't think it's too much to ask to, just pick your games when you play like that. Is it?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I for one, I appreciate the. I mean, it's something that Wenger always said when he was at Arsenal, and still does. Football isn't just. It is about winning trophies, and it is about winning games, but it's also about entertaining the fans, because they're the ones that pay all the money that fund the club. Et cetera, whether it's through match day tickets, TV rights. So in a way, you you do owe to the fans. So putting on a display is, you know, I see that as value for money. I'm not a Leeds fan, but I'll watch Leeds because I know it'll be an exciting game.
But the value for money and the way you show that off is through your athleticism, through your teamwork, and through your ability to win matches. You know, if Usain Bolt was at the Olympics and said, right, I'm going to entertain the fans by doing this sprint backwards, you know, that's not what it's about. It's about winning medals. It's about winning trophies.
It's not like, it's not that big.
Your fans.
It's not that ridiculous.
I watched Millwall Birmingham City the other day. Absolutely drab game. Like, terrible football.
Can we keep it Premier League, please, Roz? You've had enough Millwall mentions in this show today.
No, I'm just saying that I would rather my team won like that and actually won a game than like just threw everything at it and then ended up losing 4-2 or whatever.
Well, tell us what you think. Get in the comments. We're going to stay on for a couple extra minutes talking about this. If you like what you're seeing, remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and of course, allow notifications so you know every time we go live. We have got another show tomorrow afternoon, evening at 6:30 where we'll be joined by Mus, and I'm still trying to get another guest for that one. If we can get one, then great. If we can't, it'll just be the three of us. Maybe, just maybe, I'll see if we can get Bielsa on. How about that? And then you can have a face-to-face with him, but he probably won't look at the camera. Yeah, so, I mean, Bielsa... I don't see. I'm a big lover of the attacking football and the attacking philosophy, and I think that's fair cop. And in a way, they have picked that as their philosophy and thinking, if I have the right players, you know, I've got plenty of money at my disposal. If I get the right players in, I can win enough games to stay up. But it will be lots of goals for, lots of goals against. Let's not forget, this was Liverpool's philosophy before they got Van Dijk. It was Klopp's philosophy, and everyone loved it there. Was it not?
Sure. So you're saying that he doesn't have sort of caliber of player to be able to defend?
No. I'm saying he's made a conscious decision to spend that money on attacking players, and choose for that to be the way for them to stay up and stay in the division.
This might be kind of the wrong avenue to go down, but are you bored by Man City? Or the quality of their goals? I know obviously their players are much more expensive, but the way they play, Pep's tactics and his sort of the way he sort of positions players, that's quite entertaining to watch, isn't it? The goals are quite tasty.
Yes.
But we were saying just the other day that for every fullback that he might push up into central defence midfield, for every fullback that spends all their time on the wing, if you're kind of inverted wingers, whatever his tactic is, he always finds a way to level it defensively. So whether that's Fernandinho dropping into what becomes a back three, he'll find ways around it where they're defensively covered. I don't think they're giving footballers enough credit, or their intelligence enough credit, or at least their sporting and positional intelligence, to say that they can only follow one tactic and they can only play one way. And they can't adjust in matches.
Yeah, so I think comparing them to Man City and Pep Guardiola is maybe a little bit of a stretch. Like you said,
the tactics over the player and the results. Just purely on getting players to follow a system and making that system both defensively covered.
But there's a reason, you know, there's a reason only a few teams in the world can do that, and that's because of the coaches that are in charge of them, right? You know, you look at Ancelotti at Everton. Why aren't Everton doing better? Why can't they? Why can't he arrange his players in such a way to win? He's a great manager. He's won the Champions League. He's got a great bunch of players. You know,
how many times have Everton conceded 4 goals in 47 minutes this season?
Well, I don't know that off the top of my head, but it's about a philosophy and about a choice that entertains the fans and that keeps you in the division. That's their aim at the moment. Their aim isn't winning the league. Maybe in 2 or 3 years' time, when Bielsa and those players have more Premier League experience, they brought in more high-level players. Maybe then they are challenging for Europe and their game plan changes slightly. Maybe it's part of a bigger picture. But I, for one, enjoy the entertainment factor of watching Leeds. And I know you just hate Leeds. But You know, that's
No, I
kind
hate what I hate is the fact that people don't criticise the losses and people don't criticise naivety. I haven't got an issue with any particular player. Got a bit of an issue with the manager, but that's for other reasons. And my main issue is actually with the media and the fact that they get praised for getting thrashed by Man United, which doesn't seem logical to me.
Well, I mean, if the game you're talking about, they were how many? Were they 4 or 5 down when they scored? And they showed
like
that you know they did show something a bit different in the fact that even in the face of that adversity, they kept going and they kept believing, even though everyone else could see that it was, you know, it was a Man United win for sure. So I don't know. The debate rolls on, but we should probably leave it there before people get too, I don't know, bogged down by our Leeds chat. Unless you're a Leeds fan and you're watching it and you're probably loving it or hating it. But anyway, get in the comments, like the video, subscribe to the channel, allow notifications, and we will see you tomorrow night on EPLW at 6:30 p.m. Please join us, and yeah, we'd love to have your company. So come along, get in the comments. We've had plenty of people in the comments today. Big shouts to you guys. Thanks for getting involved, and we will see you next time. Goodbye, Roz.
See you, mate.
See you next time.